You should be looking forward to getting out there, spreading your wings and doing it independently and feeling good that, you know what, I can do this. It was worth the struggle. It was worth all the time studying and listening to this boring bastard. I figured it out now. Thank you. I don't want worship. I want independent thinking students that have now carved out their own way. That's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of that. That's what I want in all of you. And that's what you should be wanting, not codependency. Fuck that. That's why I don't sell a service. That's why I don't have a, a platform, a plug-in, indicator. Fuck that shit. That ties you to me. I want independent thought process, and all my students say, you know what? I can see this pattern, I can see this logic, and I'm going to use this and this is the way I'm going to do it. That's my niche, and I'm going to work with that. And I don't give a shit how many students he has doing this, that, and the other thing. This is what I'm good at. This is what makes sense to me. I'm comfortable with this. I can see this setup. I can't see those fucking breakers. I can't see a mitigation block. I don't know what the hell its fair value gap is. I just know that I can trust an optimal trade entry. Great. Don't change for nobody. And I'm at the top of that list. You don't expect a mentor to talk to you like this, do you? You want to hear all the stay close to me, love me, worship me. I don't want that shit. I don't want that at all. Anybody worth their salt should encourage individuals that they are training to be unique and independent and relying only on their own steam. That's commendable. That's respectful. I got every measure of respect for anybody out there that does. I don't give a shit if they trade support and resistance and whatever the hell else they want to attribute to why they're getting into a trade. Remember, I said earlier that if it's the heads or tails equation to get you into a trade, that's a trigger. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything. The mindset of knowing how to manage the risk, limiting the risk, and then knowing when to stop. That's the real secrets to this shit. It's not precision elements. That's what I was showing today. Like, if you look at what I was shown, there was 3 other trades I could have done. I could have went and if I wasn't in front of the charts, I wasn't in front of the charts, but when it ran the buy side, I could have sold short right there on that high candle. And I have many examples of that on my YouTube channel. It's already there. I could have sold short there, and I could have sold short at the first time I went to the fair value gap, and I would have had a little bit of drawdown, admittedly. And then you saw the rest of the examples. So I was giving you close proximity entry techniques. Every single time you see me do a trade execution and it's a partial, like where I'm doing scaling in of a larger position, pyramiding the position up, usually half of the trade entry that I did prior. So usually I start with that 6 contracts. Then I go 6, the next partial is 3, the next contract entry, if I do a partial pyramiding, it'd be 1. If that happens, just understand that every single one of those partial entries for pyramiding, that could be one of your own patterns. That's your model. You don't need to have that best case entry like running at the buy side. I missed that. I wasn't in there, but guess what? I found a whole shit ton of other things I could have done, didn't I? See, if you listen to me and you only grow accustomed to being, I want to be precise like ICT. I want to get in there and get in and trade the high candles like him and trade the low candles like him. And that precision's awesome. And that's cool. I can appreciate that. And my ego and pride loves that. And I ain't going to lie to you. Okay. I don't want you feeling like that's the only way you can find success though. So when I teach my students how to do these things, one of the main reasons why I'm doing pyramiding, because I want you to understand there's more than just what you've been taught to get into a market move. And you need not fear getting in after the main entry, the highest probability entry. There's so many other ways to get involved in that move if you understand where it's going. Where is it going? Where's the next draw on liquidity? If you know that with a great deal of confidence and experience, how do you get that? You're going to walk with me next year. You're going to see it. And knowing this is what it's likely to do and how many things form between where we identify where it's likely to go next and when it finally gets there. How many opportunities could you get in there and do that? And by seeing it live or watching the recording of me doing it live, it's the same thing. That will help you carve out what you're trying to be as a trader. The pattern, the entry strategy that I'm going to show you, that's going to be the thing that you all uniquely desire independently. I'm not going to force you into any of that stuff. It's going to make more sense once you see it, and you'll know what I mean by this because you've watched it happen so many times and you're like, I see that. And before I talk about it, you're going to see it. And then when I say it, you're like, damn, I know it. I know he was going to say that. You know what that means? That's your entry pattern. That's your framework for getting in. The experience aspect of knowing where the market's going to go next, the draw on liquidity, that's the learning curve that everybody has to go through. And there's no way to make that easy. No 5-minute ICT condensed course shit. That doesn't work. Okay. There's no shortcut to back testing and forward testing with tape reading. There's no fucking shortcut. Don't let anybody out there tell you that there is no way, absolutely no fucking way you can shorten it. And you can't. You can't. Period. That's it. There's no other way around it. That's the end of the discussion. Nobody can shorten that learning curve. It cannot happen. In case you didn't listen to me, there's no fucking shortcuts. Okay. So I think we've probably covered most of what I wanted to, build up in terms of expectations and I guess prepare you for, what it is that we're going to be doing.